Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Fauji Boots. We are here with SSB Bro. Okay. We are having a special session on communication skills, how to develop communication skills, like how to improve your communication skills, and how to be more confident towards you know to the person you're talking to, how to be more responsible. This comes under the communication skills basically. Okay. So if you are good in communication skills, if you are good in talking, definitely it creates a beautiful impression on the other person. Okay. So it's a basic need for a person to have a good good personality. Okay. Good skill. So we are having a session right now with our own buddy. Okay. SSB Bro, I won't take his name. Okay. If it is okay with. Okay. So we are having a session now right now. I'll introduce myself. My name is Vipul Singh. I'm currently working plus I'm studying also. Okay. And recently I've cleared my PCS prelims and right now I'm preparing to write my mains exam. So I won't be giving that much information to you guys regarding the SSB and written purpose. I'll be inviting experts of those specific areas. Okay, be it SSB sessions, be it written portion, be it anything, whatever you require. I'll be inviting them. You can text me personally on Instagram and WhatsApp also. So over to you. Okay, and please maintain decorum of the class. You can maintain basic decency. Have a basic decency. Don't rush. Don't create chaos. Okay, give respect to him. He'll be definitely solving all of your queries. Yeah. And I wish you'll be behaving like a gentleman cadet. Okay. So over to you, buddy. Okay. I'm leaving for my class. I'm having a class at 12, 10:30. Okay. Bye bye, guys. All the best. Okay. And please record the session and send it to me. I'll be uploading that session. No
Yeah,
need to worry about those things. Ki we'll be having session right now and we won't be recording this. Okay. I'll be properly uploading this on YouTube also. Okay. I'll be sharing the link with you guys. Okay. Okay, so over to you. I'm signing off. Bye bye.
all right,
Take care.
yeah. Thanks, Vipul, for the intro.
Bye,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Bye 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 bye. Don't say anything. Let him speak. Okay. Don't say this that. Okay. Bye guys.
Good evening, everyone. So, ground rules from my side here. All of you will keep yourself on mute until I open the session for doubts. Everyone except me will keep yourself on mute. You may turn on your videos, but your voice will always be on mute. Whoever has any doubt during the course of my speaking or later during the doubt clearing time, you can raise your hands and I'll call your name. Then you can unmute yourself and come on camera or on voice as well and ask your doubts. So let us follow these basic rules. Uh, Done. I think everyone is here. Why you not reveal your face? Okay, I'll take all these doubts in the end. Uh, so today's agenda is communication skills, guys. As most of us are already aware, in the services selection board, one of the major causes of rejection or the quality which is seen as lacking in many of the candidates is communication skills. People may be good in other aspects, like they may be very intelligent, they may be physically very courageous, they are good in their group behavior, everything else is there, but if there is no communication skill or if they are not able to project themselves properly, then there is no use having every other quality in them. So this is one quality which will enable you to project yourself to the best, and this is one of the important qualities in itself. So it is one thing to have it, and it helps you to project all the other qualities you have in a proper manner. So it's no use if you have like 10 lakhs in your bank account and if you have forgotten the pin of your ATM, or if you have lost your credentials of the internet banking. So communication skills are something like that. Uh, let's talk about how to build communication skills from scratch. Like, let's take a person who has never spoken in English in his life. Let's assume he's in his 12th now. He has studied in Hindi medium throughout from his childhood. So, how will this person start speaking in English or prepare himself for the level SSB is expecting? So, first thing is to start reading. Any person, if you want to read any language, the first thing you need to do is start reading. So English also is no exception. You start by reading the basic stuff. If you want to go to reading newspapers, that is okay, but start off by following the sheer basics. Like, take up high school English textbooks or some story books or novels or any book which has the sheer basics of English. So pick up them and start reading, or you may pick up these English grammar books also. Most of them are available online these days, so you don't need to purchase anything also. So start off by reading some good uh, English books, which will help you in developing your reading skills. Also, if you are following some content-rich books like UPSC related or your other core subject related, that will help you in gaining knowledge for that as well. Plus, your English will keep improving. That is one thing. Start reading. So when you read, there's a method to do that. If your primary goal is to improve your language skills, just blindly reading or skimming through the pages won't help you. When you are reading a sentence, if you do not understand the meaning of any word, or if you are not able to interpret the overall meaning of the sentence, although you know the meaning of each word, there is gap in understanding the whole sentence. Then you use a dictionary or you use Google to find out the meaning, and then either take a mental note of it or write it down in your notebook and keep a record of all such notes you make and keep revising them. These are things which will help you to uh, have a good memory. When you write something, it is easier to remember than just going through it or reading it. So make a habit of writing all vocabulary or any other aspects of your English communication, and make this a habit. If you are very weak in English, this is for a beginner. So if you are already good in basic English, I'll go to further steps and we'll see how to improve from there. So this is for a new person, as in a person who is very weak in English and he says I'm an absolute beginner. So English कैसे सीखना है? A person who has never spoken in English in his life. This is for them. So start off by reading basics, and whichever sentence or word you are not confident about, use the internet to find out the meaning. It This option is also there कि you'll be able to translate stuff into your mother tongue and thereby understand the meaning. So do that and take notes of it and keep a record of whatever you are noting. This is step one, reading. Step two is writing. When you are writing these grammar rules or whatever English skills you are gaining by reading, it will have a good space in your memory, and thereby you will be able to continue your learning. So I've already covered writing in the same. So reading and writing combinedly would constitute step one. So once you have mastered the basics, you are aware of all the grammar rules and you know to spot grammatical errors if there is any, or these basic skills are strong for you, then you can start off by listening to good English. By listening, I mean either watching good English content, YouTube videos, movies, web series, podcasts, news debates, be it anything, any content which has good English, basic English, preferably Indian accent. Watch them, and while watching, if you are unable to catch the speed or if you are unable to interpret what they are speaking, use subtitles or reduce the speed if you are using online content like YouTube, or where you have an option to reduce the speed of speech. Do that, and while you are going through it, make an endeavor to learn everything which is being told, and whichever sentence or whichever paragraph or whatever content you are not able to understand, try to make a note of it, or go through the internet on the spot. Like if you are going through YouTube videos, you can pause it and go online, check the meaning, and then come back and watch. Or if it is a continuous thing like some web series or something like that, you can make a note of whatever you are unable to understand and go through it later. But preferably, the better thing would be to go through the meaning then and there, so that you have that flow. If you are unable to understand one sentence, there is no point of noting it down and just going through the next and thinking I'll go through the meaning of this later. Then that connect won't happen. So whenever you have any gap in understanding, go through the internet, write out whatever you were unable to understand, get to know the meaning of it, and then continue watching. By watching more and more content, by listening English, your English will automatically improve. I've seen many candidates who have improved their English only by following online content. Most of us are having this resource at hand, so let us use it properly. And this should not be an excuse ki I was from a Hindi medium background, or got good English teachers in my school. That shouldn't be an excuse now, because everyone is having all the resources at their disposal. So use the internet effectively. Watch good English content. I would recommend certain channels. There is this Rajya Sabha TV where they have very decent debates on good current affairs topics and general social interest topics as well, where they use very simple English, which is understandable by any high school kid or anyone elder than that. So if you follow such good shows, there are other things as well. You can watch some good podcasts, and English movies also can help, but that is a higher level English. So let us start with the basics. So
Bro,
the
hello,
channel I
hello.
mentioned was Rajya
Sorry to
Sabha
interrupt.
RSTV. So
Hello.
follow these things, and your English will improve. It will definitely improve when you keep on listening to English content, and try to speak it as well. That is step three. I'll come to that. But first thing was reading, and while reading, try to write. And third step was listening. Listen as much as possible. This is one thing which will come easy to you, as well as it's very effective. So instead of wasting time on watching other language content, like watching Hindi movies, shows, or whatever vernacular you have, try to watch more of English content, and try to master the language. So this was step two. Then comes speaking, and this is the most important step. Although you may be very good in your basic English, your vocabulary is killer, you write very well in your CDS English, you are able to score 80 plus. But there's no use if you are not confident in speaking, or if you're not having English fluency while speaking. So there are people who are very good when it comes to writing or reading English, but they struggle when told to face a camera and speak, or to face some people and speak. So that may be due to lack of practice or lack of confidence. For both, this is the only solution. Come out and speak. So that is why in all the group sessions we conduct, or anywhere else also, I tell people to come on camera and try to speak something. You need to get out of that comfort zone and start speaking how much ever you can. Obviously, in the initial few days, you will make mistakes, and that is when you start learning. So start making mistakes, try to speak in English, and get corrected. Everyone is here. This is an open forum where people are ready to help each other. So make use of it. Start speaking in English, and try to get your mistakes corrected by your friends, or by people like me and Vipul. And make this a habit. This should be
Bro,
an
bro,
endeavor
bro.
to.
Bro. Sorry to interrupt. Though the guy who created the link, na, please ask him to accept the invitations also.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it
Yeah, please
continuously.
ask them because people are continuously texting me, na, कि भैया
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's not accepting.
No, I'm doing it while speaking.
Mm.
I'm forgetting to do it once in
Please,
a while.
please,
So
please, please,
yeah, yeah,
please,
I'm
please
doing
do
it.
it. Please do it. Okay, thank you.
Admitted all.
Okay. Sorry for interruption.
No, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
So that's step three, guys. Speaking a lot. Speaking in English also has some basic rules to follow. All of you, please mute yourself here. Who is this lover boy ID? Please mute yourself. There are some new guys. Let's admit them. I'll mute this guy myself. Uh, okay.
Remove him, remove him.
I'm muting him. I'm muting him.
Yeah, put him on mute.
I've done that. I think he's unmuting himself on purpose. Wait, I'll remove this guy. Okay, he's on mute. There are some new guys. Sorry for the interruption here. Just a minute. Yeah. So as I was speaking, start talking in English. And while talking, also, it's not like you should be thinking in your mother tongue. Let's take Hindi as the mother tongue for this entire discussion. So it's not like I should keep thinking in English and while speaking I translate it in my mind and then deliver it in English. That should not be how this should be done. Try to think in English. When I say trying to think in English, your mind voice should also be in English. When you are talking about anything, there is some mind voice inside your head. Like let's say there is some conversation happening in English in your brain, you will be like, अरे ये लोग ये बात कर रहे हैं तो मैं ये करूंगा वो करूंगा. That mind voice of yours should also be in English. You should start thinking in English. So that way the communication gap reduces. You don't have the pressure of translating it to English and then speaking it out. So that bridge should be connected when that happens when you start thinking in English. So this should become your second nature. Although you have been practicing or speaking your mother tongue throughout your life, it is a good time to shift to English, and this is a requirement. This is something you cannot escape from, regardless of whether you want to join defense services or not. Any government service or any civil corporate service also. English is one very important thing. It has become a part of our life. So accept it and start inculcating it in your daily life. So let's just go through what we discussed. First thing was reading, and while reading, try to write or make a separate habit of writing in English. Next thing was listening to a lot of English content, good quality English content. I'll go through some shows myself and put a list of recommended channels for you on my WhatsApp groups, and I'll with Vipul also, so he'll be putting in this for the Boots community. So follow those channels and try to listen to their English as much as possible. And with this, it is not only English, but these are good channels which deliver good content on different topics. So that general knowledge aspect will also be taken care of, and English speaking will also improve. So that was, and next would be to start thinking and speaking in English. So this is something which I hope I've made very clear. Uh, these are the basic steps to ensure your English communication improves. So, anyone having any doubts, I'll open the session to doubts now. First, let me admit all the people waiting. Okay. Uh, okay. For the benefit of those who just joined, I'll summarize what I spoke for the past few minutes. To develop English communication, the sequence of things you need to be doing is something like this. First, start reading and writing in English. Basics, start with the basics and slowly improve the level of English. Second is to start listening to a lot of English content, be it YouTube channels or TV news or movies, web series, anything which has simple and easy to understand English. If you have already covered all the basics, then you can go to watch Hollywood movies or content where super fast English or what we call as hi-fi English or that top class English is being used. So that is listening, and then you can start speaking in English. And speaking is the most important because that is where your fluency comes, your confidence comes, and that should be the bulk of your practice. Like 20 to 30% should be all others, like reading, writing, listening, and 70% should be your speaking. So start speaking. Make a lot of mistakes. It's okay. Everyone does in the beginning. You will improve slowly, and depends on how much efforts you put and what level of quick learner you are. You will improve in a short span of time, and soon you must be able to speak in good fluent English. So that was a basic structure of what you need to follow to develop English communication, especially for the SSB and for any other youngster also. So this is for our age group, and what I have seen. The strategy will be different for a high school kid, and it will be different for a 40-year-old person. So for our age group, for the background we come from, most of us may have not had the fortune of studying in good hi-fi English-speaking schools or colleges. So that gap is always there. To address that gap, this is some strategy you can find. It's very effective. I've tried to teach this to people, and they have had very good results following these things. So I would recommend you all to follow them, and I'm confident you will have good results. So I'll open the class to doubts now. Whoever has any doubts, please raise your hand in this. There's an option to raise your hand. So click on that, and I'll call you one by one. You can unmute yourself and ask your doubt. I'll be addressing your doubts one by one. First is Shiv Sharma.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, whenever I read newspaper, novels, book, etc., I feel that this look like a boring. How I managed to take interest in this?
Read something which you have interest in. If you don't find novels interesting, you don't need to force yourself in that. You can take up anything you are interested in. There will be some subject which you are interested in, let's say psychology, philosophy, or basic social studies, history, polity, anything which is written in English which you have interest in. Sorry, what did you say?
Sir, how I manage the timetable for MBA examination? Well, it is
Sorry,
necessary
you are
that
not clear.
English is
Your
also.
voice is breaking. Speak again, please.
Sir, how I manage the timetable of MBA? Sir, I studied it at Janatpuri, East Delhi. I am preparing for the MBA examination and as well as SSB.
Understood. See, that is not an excuse. Written exam is something you obviously need to take care of. And for English speaking, I am not telling you to invest 5 hours, 6 hours a day. Basic half an hour to 1 hour a day of reading, listening, or speaking is good enough. So start off
Yes,
with
yes.
a lesser amount of time. Start with half an hour a day, and slowly, when you are getting comfortable with it, try to improve the timing and go to 1 hour, 2 hours per day. It's a slow process. Like right now, your focus should be more on your NDA written only because that is the first step you need to clear. Then you'll
Yes.
have time before your SSB, so you can focus more on your personality and English speaking and all other aspects after you're written. So for now, until NDA written, focus more on the written exam. Start these basic habits which I told. Keep it at a limited time, like half an hour or 1 hour per day. After your NDA written, improve the time, go for 2 hours or 3 hours per day, and we'll keep having these sessions. So attend them, and there are other forums where you can start speaking in English. So involve yourself in such activities. It's a daily process, so there's nothing like you can learn in 1 day or 10 days. It is continuous improvement, and no one is perfect. Even I am learning every day. I'm
Yes.
not all good in English. That's what I feel when I speak to other senior officers. They are extremely fluent and what we call as elegant English, like outright Shashi Tharoors. So to
Sir,
reach that level, it is continuous practice only. So there's no other option.
yes, sir, in SSB,
Uh-huh.
it is English is so memorable or to be a very genius.
No, it is very manageable. Here, English speaking is a very basic skill which is not at all difficult to learn. It is not some rocket science where you need to put efforts. It is a very natural process. As human beings, we are made to learn a language. Our brains are designed that way. So you will learn. It is as easy as how you learned your mother tongue. English is also like
Yes,
that. So
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
if you follow the steps, if you do it in the right manner, it's very easy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next, please mute yourself after you're done. Okay. Aditya Nair.
Good evening, sir. So I wanted to ask, how can we mingle with people more easily? Like, suppose we have met a fresh group, and so how to make a place within them for us?
This is the chance. Just say hi to everyone. This is a group, and many of them are meeting you for the first time, and you're on camera. Say hi to them.
Good evening, everyone. Jai Hind.
So that's how you mingle. You come out of your comfort zone. You start meeting people, and try to speak to them. Try to create bonds with them, and develop bonds. Like, this is not something related to communication, right? You are talking about how to mingle with people in general, or how to start by speaking in English and thereby develop your communication.
No, sir, in general.
In general, that's how you do it. You come out and start talking. So that's something not relatable here. So let's keep it for later. Any other doubts related to communication skills? No? Okay. Bhushan? Bhushan, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Jai Hind.
Jain, sir. So I very often face this type of situation that when I'm having a conversation with one individual, there one situation comes that I'm forced to use Hindi for the better understanding of the situation, so that I could explain that to the other individual. So how can I tackle that situation, sir?
Understood. See, you are not at that level of English fluency where you can explain all kinds of situations or problems at ease. You are more comfortable with Hindi because you have mastered that language. When you reach that level of expertise in your English as well, it will be easier for you to explain in English than Hindi. When you keep practicing the way I told you, when you keep speaking in English, there will come a stage where you are more comfortable in English than Hindi. So then you will say yourself, "Okay, I'm not able to explain in Hindi, so I'll better try to explain in English." So that stage will come slowly. Keep practicing, keep following this routine which I told you. Make it a habit. Speaking in English is not something extraordinary. Everyone does it, and you also try to do it on a regular basis. Of course, there will be situations where you may find difficulty in finding the right words, or you may feel more comfortable explaining in your mother tongue. That's perfectly all right. You can do that as well. But there should come a stage where you are not uncomfortable with English. You must be able to explain in English as well, but you may feel it is easier to do it in your mother tongue. That's all right. You can do it in your mother tongue as well. So, but it should not be like I'm not able to explain in English at all. So you must reach a stage where wherein you are able to communicate everything in English effectively, and you may choose your mother tongue if you feel that is better.
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you are an interviewing officer and I am a candidate in SSB. You gave me a situation and I explained it very well in English, but still, as being an interviewing officer, you thought that I could have explained that situation very well in Hindi as well. Uh, will it show that I have lack of confidence while I spoke in English, and will it have a negative impact on my performance?
No, as an interviewing officer, I will never feel ki you should have spoken in Hindi because my expectation is that you speak in English only. So, whatever you explain, if let's say a situation was given to you and you were asked what you would do in that situation, you should be able to communicate it in a very good, understandable manner in English. That's all. No one is expecting you to be a great orator or use very hi-fi English. It should be able to, matlab, the interviewing officer should be able to understand your language, and you should have communicated your idea properly. Like it's not like you are thinking something else and you are speaking in not so good English, so the interviewing officer is interpreting something else out of it. That gap should not be there. Whatever you are thinking, the interviewing officer should also receive the same message. So that is one thing which you need to ensure through good English speaking. If you have the right words, if you know how to put them in context, it will be easy. And no one expects you to explain in your mother tongue. Everyone wants you to speak in English only. If you are unable to do that, if you are not confident enough to do that, then you are given an option. It's okay, speak in your mother tongue, but it is better if you speak in English only.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next is Parul Kanda. Parul, are you there?
Jain, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, basically, the problem with me is that I'm having the fear of being judged. Whenever I'm I know that I'll be judged on my communication skills, or when I know the other person in front of me is senior or will be judging me or will be giving me grades or something like that, I'll be make myself confused, or I don't know what, but I'll be confused and I'll be fumble somewhere, and I will be not able to display myself as as good as I can do. Um, so this is the problem. But this not happen with me when I am when I'm with my friends or family. So it won't happen with me.
Understood. Whenever the stakes are high, let's say you're in an interview or you're speaking to some senior who is in a superior position than you, it is bound to happen. Everyone feels nervous, and your language skills also are put to test. So that happens because you have not been used to speaking to people at a higher level than you. Like, let's say you haven't faced many interviews or you haven't interacted with a lot of senior people. That's a lifestyle problem. It is not about your English. It is just that you haven't put yourself through those situations as often as you should have. So it's nothing like your English is bad. Your confidence needs to improve. That will happen as and when you speak. You try to interact with people senior to you or those who are what you said intimidating you. Try to speak in English to them. It's okay
Yes,
to
sir.
get judged. They are superior to us, though. It's not a problem when they judge us. So, and no one is perfect here, so everyone is learning, and so you should be able to take judgment also. That is another personality thing. No one is perfect, and no one is expecting to be respected for their qualities. Everyone is imperfect in some aspect or the other. So accept it and be judged. It's all right. Make mistakes, learn from them. It's not like people will only judge you and not teach you. They will point out your mistakes if they are your well wishers, and they'll tell you to correct yourself. And even if they don't do that, the more you face judgment, the more hard you become. It's better. Try to take it in these early stages, because later when you join service or any other government job or corporate job you take up, the stakes will get higher and higher. You will be told to
Yes, sir.
speak at a meeting, you will be told to present something, or let's say you're in academy, you'll be told to brief the senior most officer in the academy. So these things will happen. So it's better to get rid of this fear, or this fear of being judged in the
Yes, sir.
initial stage itself, that is right now, by putting yourself through those situations. Try to speak to your seniors in front of people better than you, and that is where you actually learn. If you are speaking very confidently with your friends, juniors who are not judging you, or in situations where you are better, like you are speaking to people whose English is poor or not as good as you, that is not where you are learning. You will learn when you interact with people better than you. So do that, put yourself through those situations on purpose, and slowly you will learn. And get rid of this, judgmental feeling. No one is judging you. That is
Yes, sir.
within ourselves. No one is judging you, honestly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All the best. Next, Praful Thakur. Praful, are you there? All right. Next, who is this? Shadow.
Okay, sir.
Uh, Hello. Yes, you are audible. Speak.
Hello, hello.
Yes,
Yes, Shadow.
sir. Yes, sir. As you told that previous five
Yes,
minutes
speaking,
that
sir.
how to learn English. So, sir, how much time it can take in?
So it depends on the current level you are at and how quick you learn. So these are two factors which will influence the overall time. It takes different time for different people. Do not think about the end result. Just start off, see slow improvement, and it's not a comparison with anyone, right? He learned it in 6 months, so I'll learn it in 6 months myself. Nothing like that. It is different for different people. So take your own time. Start by improving day by day. You will find results, and there's no specific timeline. You can learn it in 1 month. You can take 2 3 years to learn. So it's different for different people. So try to fast track it as much as possible in your own case. More hours. Try to put yourself through more situations where you are speaking in English in front of people, or in front of camera, or anywhere else, like in a crowd. So the more you keep doing it, the better it is. And time is not like I'm doing it for 5 minutes and I'll do it for 10 years. That is not how it works. Na? Try to increase the
Okay,
daily session, try to put yourself through English speaking for 1 hour, 2 hours a day. That way you'll find faster results. And overall, any average person who is very weak in English, like let's say he is from English medium only, let's say he is already having the basics clear, but he is unable to speak, he is not confident. For that kind of person, it should take anywhere between 2 to 3 months to overcome this and be a good speaker. For a person who is very weak in English, who is starting from scratch, it may take anywhere between 6 months to 1 year. Who puts
Okay,
that
sir.
and
Sir, one more question is that,
okay.
sir, how to overcome fears? I know much English, but I don't speak English from people's front of people's.
So that's what you should be speaking. Your English is not improving because you are not speaking. You may think that you are good, but what is the use of being good if you are not able to show it to others? If your English is very good within your brain, who is benefiting from it? It is of no use to others and it is of no use to you as well. Only when you put it out there, language is for people to interact. No, what is the use if you have it in yourself? If you feel your English is good, there's no use. Others should feel your English is good. So start speaking.
Okay, sir.
Put yourself in places where you will be speaking in front of people, and slowly you will see improvement.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Cadet Yuvraj,
Good evening, sir.
good evening, here.
Sir, I wanted to ask that what is the difference between a fresher and a front of SSB officers?
That is not relevant to communication skills here. And whoever has raised your hands, please ask questions related to communication skills only for today. All other doubts I'll take on DMs and on my channels. Related to SSB, let us avoid now. For now, let us keep this session only for communication skills. Any doubts on communication skills, Yuvraj?
Sir, in means if we in while performing GTO task, is it important to convey our ideas through English only, or we can convey some of the ideas through Hindi language?
No, it is important to speak in English only, but it is not mandatory. If you are unable to speak in English, it's okay to use your mother tongue. That's an option given to you. That's some leeway given to you, assuming everyone is not great in English. But why to take that mercy and become a person who is getting some benefit? Try to follow all the rules and just speak in English only. It's not like everyone is great. And in SSB, what super hi-fi ideas do you get? These are all basic things only. Very low level or the sheer basic level of English is expected in SSB. So if you are unable to deliver on that, then it will be difficult for you to handle English in the corporate or anywhere else, even in other government services. Defense expects very basic level of. So you must be able to speak in English only during your SSB as much as possible. If you are unable to, it's okay to use, but now is the time to learn, right? So learn it and go in a better prepared state.
Sam means mostly able to speak English, but what happens while doing PGT and all HGT tasks? Everybody gives their ideas. So sometimes we communicate our ideas in Hindi. So that's the problem. So I was asking that.
It's okay to do that, but the same can be done in English also. It's not a big problem.
And same, sir, in front of IO, if we are not able to express something in English, like some tricky question, so can we
Understood.
use Hindi?
That shouldn't come in the first place. You are saying if you are unable to, but what if that if situation never comes? If you are good in English naturally, if you are more comfortable in English than your mother tongue, then obviously your preferred language would be English only. So in case you have not reached that level, then this comes. "Okay, what if I'm not able to? What if Hindi is better for me?" That situation, let us try and avoid overall. This is an excuse for people who are not good enough. If you are not great in your English speaking ability, then this is a excuse given to you. This is some leeway given ki हाँ चलेगा. Later when he goes to academy, he'll improve because language is not something very great. Anyone can learn it with some basic training and grooming. So it is excused. So it's better to learn now only instead of using this benefit given to you and then later trying to learn, because this may also be a factor of rejecting you or maybe not giving you as many points as you would like. because that is one very important quality we said. And communication is not language; these are different things. English. We are focusing today on English speaking. Communication has some other aspects also involved. It is body language. It is your facial expressions, the hand gestures you use, the voice modulations you have, which make your speech more commanding. So everything comes under communication skills. Now we are focusing only on basic English speaking. So you can do that once you have the practice, once you have mastered the art of speaking in English. That situation won't come at all. In case you haven't, it's okay. It's okay to use Hindi in your ground tasks as well as in front of the interviewing officer.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for your guidance.
You're welcome. Next, Divyansh Jha.
Good evening, sir. My question is not entirely related to communication skills. So, should I ask it or not?
No, then. Whoever has doubts on communication skills, let us cover them only
Sir,
now.
I have DM'd you. Please,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Satyendra Ghosh,
Jain sir.
Jai
Sir,
Hind.
I have a question that how to means how to make eye contact with someone when you are speaking, means when you are delivering a lecture or when you are discussing with someone. So how to make that contact? That is the
Uh,
main thing.
how to make eye contact as in look at their face. That is eye contact. It is not like you are staring into their eyes. Uh, that's not eye contact. Like address the person face to face. That is keeping eye contact. It's not like you are looking down or you're looking sideways. You're looking into the face of that person. That is eye contact. And this is a general etiquette. It is not a rule or it is not something told you, okay, you need to maintain eye contact and speak. It is general common sense. When you are addressing a person, it is good to look at him and speak instead of looking at somewhere else and speaking. So that is basic eye contact. And you don't need to put an effort to do that. It should come naturally. When you are speaking to a person, obviously you look at his face only and speak, right?
Yeah, that's the main problem with me. Like I rarely do eye contact with someone whenever I am speaking to someone. So that's the main problem.
So that you need to overcome. You need to make it a practice while speaking. Make sure you are making eye contact every time from now. Although in the initial few days you may be uncomfortable, try doing it again and again. Once you keep practicing it, anything which you are doing on a daily basis becomes a habit. That is why this inhibition is there. Once you make the other way around a habit, even that will become second nature to you. Then it will be difficult for you to not make eye contact. Just like how it is being difficult for you to maintain eye contact right now. Once you master this and once you start looking at people and speaking, when I tell you to look at somewhere else and speak, it will be a new thing to you. So this is a habit. You need to inculcate it in your life. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Aryansh.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, my question is that I've observed in myself that while I'm presenting my ideas or giving points during GT or GD of whether it is of PPDT or the GTO task, I am presenting it quite well. But sir, when it comes to narrating ideas, narration of PPDT or giving lecture, it I fumble a lot. Though I have points in my mind, but I forget due to nervousness. So how should I improve this, and what should be my approach in improving it? Can you please tell?
Practice. Keep on practicing. If you are good in your English speaking, if you have ideas and you are forgetting because of the pressure created there or because you are thinking SSB is a big thing, that is because you are uncomfortable in that situation. You are being stressed, you are put under pressure, which is why you are forgetting things or you are not able to deliver, although you have all the qualities. So, that nervousness you should overcome through practice. Keep on giving mock PPDTs, mock assessments, and keep yourself in this practice. So we have created all this for that only, right? The more you keep practicing, the lesser you will be afraid during your actual SSB.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
You're
Also, sir, apart from this, I wanted to ask that during the time when we are giving interview, uh, there might be situations when we are referring to our one of the relatives, and I might be not knowing the pronunciation of that particular relative in English form. So can I speak that word in Hindi? Will it be not
You
be
can do
odd?
that, but it's better to learn, na? Blood relatives, hardly it'll take 5 minutes to revise everything. Like what do you mean? Like Bua, Fufa, Jija, all these things you don't know
Yeah,
the meaning in
like
English.
something like this, like mama or
No,
some.
understood. It's easy to learn them, na? Go on Google, type out all the relatives you want to address, and find out the English equivalent of them, and try to address them in English only.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
In case you don't know during the interview, if you haven't done this, it's okay to use your Hindi, this thing also, word also, to address your relatives. That's all right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Pankaj Joshi.
Jain sir.
Jai Hind.
So my question is that sir, my explanation power is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir, as well as my English. So how can I improve it?
So this is what we've been discussing for the past 45 minutes or so. This is what you need to do. Start reading, writing, listening to, and speaking in English. The more you keep doing these activities, the better you get at English speaking skills every day, and you'll improve slowly. Power of expression, able to communicate stuff, or English fluency, confidence while delivering a lecture, public speaking, all these are the same. Overall, if you are good in your fluency in English and you are confident to speak in front of people, all these things are taken care of. So it's a continuous process. Keep practicing it and you'll improve.
Okay, sir, but uh, I cannot explain my point of view in front of many people.
So that's the problem, na. It is either because your English is weak or because you are not able to communicate it in front of people because you are underconfident. It's either of
Uh,
the two.
yes, sir.
So recognize which one is your problem. If it is English speaking, then follow all these activities which I told. If it is confidence while being in a crowd or while addressing people, then keep practicing. Like, come
Yes, sir.
on line, and just like how you are doing right now, you are speaking in front of 50 plus people. So this is one step. So keep putting yourself through situations.
Because sir,
Speak in front of
online
friends.
mode.
Sorry.
Sir, because it's online mode.
Other Put
That's
yourself
why
in all these situations now. In your college, in your workplace, with your friends, anywhere, speak in English. And there are multiple offline forums also where English speaking is nurtured. Take part in them.
okay, sir.
All right.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Ishan Kumar.
Good evening, sir. Jain, sir.
Good evening, Jahin.
Sir, my question is, sir, how can I answer the question of self-discovery? And like your personality traits, like your strength, your weakness, your likes, your dislikes, your beliefs. And sir, how can I improve during the communication skills?
This is not communication skill related per se, but I'll answer this anyway. You know the answers to all these questions. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, everything. You just need to speak it. Like, what's the actual doubt here? Like, how do I answer these questions? By knowing answers to it, prepare beforehand. You know all the questions asked in SSB. Most of them know all the questions. Everything is available online. So go through the common questions asked. Everyone will ask these basic questions. Tell about your academic background, tell about your family background, about your hobbies and interests, and if you are working currently, then about your work. Any basic question, everything in your PIQ, just scan through it completely, and any number of questions can be framed with the data you have given. So practice question and answers for all possible questions, and keep yourself prepared for any question which comes. And even if something comes out of the blue which you haven't expected, it's okay. You must be able to deliver it on the spot. Not like he's asking some very difficult question which you are unable to find answers to. He's asking about yourself, your own life. So that is something you are expected to know. So know about yourself, and when asked those questions, be confident and answer them. That's all.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how can I overcome the fear of speaking English in front of others? Like, have any grammatic mistakes I do, I feel like what will others, matlab, sir,
That's
judge
good.
me?
That's what you haven't tried public speaking over the course of these few years which you have spent, right? So start now. This judgment, this fear of speaking, all this is in the initial stages only. Once you start speaking, you make mistakes. Yes, everyone makes mistakes. And even if you are the best orator, you will also make mistakes at some point or the other. So no one is perfect here. You know that, and everyone else also knows. And people who are judging you, they are also not good. So, and this is one thing we always feel. This is inside us. Actually, people are good. They are not judging you. They are only seeing your mistakes and they're like, "Huh, theek hai, everyone makes mistakes." They are thinking that way. It is us who feel like, "Huh, they are judging me. They are pointing me out, and they are probably thinking bad things about me." That is all internal. So get rid of that. Realize that everyone is equal and no one is, kind of comparing themselves with others. And keep practicing. Your level will improve as and when you practice, and it's a continuous process. So no issues there.
Thank you so much, sir. Jai Hind,
You're
sir.
welcome. You're welcome. Next, we have Arjun Singh.
Jain sir,
Jai Hind.
sir, my doubt is that actually whenever I'm giving my points to a particular topic, suddenly I switch to Hindi because maybe I don't know, I forget words of that particular meaning at that time or something else. So suddenly I switch to Hindi and then I felt that something is wrong I have done. So suggest me something so that I can continue everything in English fluently.
You can't continue English unless you know the words, right? So if your vocabulary is weak, if you're not able to find the words for those situations, you will obviously shift to your mother tongue. If that is happening, then obviously it is seen that your English vocabulary is not up to the mark. Keep improving. The routine I told you works for this also.
Sir, will it give negative impact to the assessors if I switch suddenly switch my language English to Hindi whenever I forget any word?
Obviously, it will be affecting only your effective communication, point. No one will be taking you as a person who is irresponsible, or all your other qualities are not being judged. But obviously, your effective communication or the qualities related to that will be judged, and there will be some negative impact on that front. So yes, it
Sir,
will be.
one more question I want to ask. Sir, whenever I am giving the answer question asked by the assessors, sir, I am just making, I'm trying, at that time I was trying to make eye contact with them, but suddenly I suddenly some smile and laughing suddenly comes on my face. So what should I do to control that part, that thing?
So yeah, this is something you need to take care of. If the interviewing officer is asking you something serious, obviously you should not laugh there. That is basic common sense. And coming to unable to making maintaining eye contact, that is something which comes with practice only. As I told for this other person also, the more you put yourself through those situations and keep improving yourself, the easier it will become when the actual interview comes, or when there is some presentation you need to make, or when the stakes are high, it will be easier for you to tackle that situation, provided you have put yourself through small versions of the same situations. So put yourself through these stages and keep improving yourself. Just come out of your comfort zone. That's the basic thing I'm trying to convey. You've been trying to do it alone, or you haven't faced a crowd. English speaking doesn't come by just speaking to yourself, or maybe speaking in front of a mirror to an extent may help, but it is better if you learn speaking in front of people. And
Okay, sir.
maintaining
Thank you,
eye
sir.
contact or smiling in serious situations, these are things you just need to take care of.
No, sir, no, not in serious situation, but sir, when just like you are sitting here and right now, suppose you are sitting in front of me and you are interviewer, and suddenly you ask a question and you are smiling, and
Okay.
I give the same response. I smiled because you are smiling. So
Uh,
I was asking about that thing.
that's not a problem then. If it is a light situation, if there is a very friendly conversation happening, it's perfectly all right to smile.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And I must try to improve whatever you suggested me.
Yes, I hope you do that.
Definitely, I will try to do it.
All right. Next, Abhinav Tiwari. Abhinav, are you there? Okay.
Jain sir, am I audible?
Yes, Jahind, you're audible.
Hel- Yes. Sir, while reading novel, I usually come across new words. Like I today read a novel and I came across caveat, a word which means chetavni. But
Hmm.
whenever while communicating, we use generally simple words like warning. So
Hmm.
how we can use these complex words to make our communication very interesting?
It's not required. See, we have this misconception thinking ki the more hi-fi words we use, the more jargons we use, our English may sound better. That is nonsense. The more simpler you keep it, the more the other person understands your English and is being able to interpret it, the better your English is. So try to keep it simple only. All these complex words you just need to know the meaning of, because if someone else uses it, you must be able to understand. But it is better to keep your own language as simple as possible. You don't need to use these complex words. Just maintain your
Okay,
basic
sir.
vocabulary.
One more problem I face, sir.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes, yes,
am I
you're audible.
audible, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, I am the only guy, I am the only boy in the home, and I also have a Hindi medium friend. So how can I found people for communication because I am currently in person deficit?
To message me, I'll add you in these groups where we are conducting daily sessions, GTO sessions, where everyone speaks in English and you're also expected to speak. Daily 1 hour practice happens here only. So do that.
But sir, any facility about extroverts who who need more and more practice and also want to talk more? So because they find people to talk to, but they don't find one.
Oh, what should I do there? You need to make friends and you need to start talking. There is social media, there is what you want, dating apps or anything of that sort. If you're unable to find people, go out, hunt for people. There is Instagram, there is Facebook. You as civilians have all the facilities, na? So use them.
Thank you, sir. Jain, sir. I
All
got
right.
my answer.
Jai Hind. Next, Abhinav Nagyal.
Jen sir.
Jai Hind.
Okay. Sir, while performing in group discussion or while talking with the interviewing officer,
Mhm.
so if there is some grammatical errors happening,
Mhm.
so sir, will it impact my performance or not?
Not much here. If there are small grammatical errors happening, everyone does that. The assessor are not expecting you to be perfect in your English. We understand that there is pressure. You are nervous in that situation, and errors are accepted. But keep it as minimal as possible. That's all.
Okay,
It
sir.
won't
Sir,
have a
there
big
is one
impact
more.
on your performance. No person is judging you based on your English. Your qualities are being assessed in a different manner. Your English, the better it is, it will be easier for you to project yourself. Like all the qualities, if you have, and if you are not able to put it out there, if you are not able to speak it out, then it is difficult to assess. So that way, it may hamper your performance. But small grammatical errors or getting stuck here and there, that won't have a big impact.
Okay, sir. So one more doubt, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, while performing in the group discussions or other talks, so, sir, other group members are speaking English like a bullet train. So, I'm speaking in a less pace,
Hmm.
lower pace than there. So, how can I cope up with them? How can I put my points?
Not a problem. See, if some person is speaking very fluent and super fast English, it is his strength. It's okay. Talk at your normal pace and do not get intimidated or negatively influenced by people who are better than you. Learn from them, implement it as much as possible in yourself, but it's okay to be mediocre. You don't need to think of other people as great and I'm not up to the mark. You are better in some other aspects, they are good in their English speaking, that's accepted. So, in group discussion, specifically when you feel like some other people are very good and way better than you in their English speaking, It's okay. You counter them with your logical points. In group discussion, only English is not being checked, right? Your content matters first thing. The general awareness you have and the kind of logical points you are giving, that is most important. And how you behave in a group, like how you tackle that chaotic situation, your leadership qualities and your group behavior is being checked. Your English communication is a very small part of your assessment. So do not focus much on that. Overall, if your performance is good, your English speaking is not something which can make or break your chance.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Chayan.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, suppose sir, there are two candidates. Sir, one is using a decent English language, and the other candidate is using a difficult English language. Sir, does this and but sir, they both are successful to explain their points. Sir, so sir, does this even make a difference between them?
Not much. See, if a person is speaking in a language which is not understandable by others, it is actually his weakness. You must be able to speak in a language which is understandable by everyone. That is communication. Now, what is communication? You trying to put your ideas in front of others so that they understand it. So, if
Yes,
you're not
sir.
able to do that, then whatever hi-fi English you have, or you may be the best of the best, but what is the use? The
But sir,
primary.
both of the candidates, sir, they were successful to prove their points, matlab, or to explain their points.
Okay.
Sir, then.
If they were successful in proving their points, then what is the doubt here? They have communicated
Sir,
well. Okay.
so the doubt is, sir, does this even make a difference between those two candidates?
And
Because
see, this
one is
is
using a decent language and the
understood.
other is
Understood.
using a
If a
difficult.
person is using very good English and if another person is using basic or mediocre level of English, there is no judgment happening. Everyone is being assessed independently. So it's not like how they are being compared or how they are being looked at relatively. You are not compared with anyone else, and that is not how this is working. The selection system is unique to everyone. You are being assessed as a person, as yourself. So focus on only that. Do not compare yourself with the performance of some other candidate. That is the mistake which most of you do.
Got it, sir, got it. So my second question is, sir, suppose sir, during an interview, if I fumble once or twice, or sir, if I stammer once or twice, sir, does this portray my image bad?
Not much. See, very rarely, like once or twice, if you stammer here and there, or if you find it difficult to cope up, it's okay. It's acceptable, but it should not be a pattern. It's easily recognizable. If you are good otherwise, in one or two situations, if you fumble, that's acceptable. You are overall a good candidate. But if that is the case where you are fumbling all the time and rarely you are confident, then obviously you are not a fit enough guy.
Got it, sir, got it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, meet. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Meet
Sir,
Parate. Yes.
no, sir. Sir,
Hi.
everyone is suggest for the communication. Firstly, we need to read newspaper. So, sir, my question is how to read newspaper and how to remember all the points in the news.
See, reading newspaper is good because it has multiple benefits. You are covering your current affairs, you are being aware of what is happening, and you are building opinions of all the happenings in the society. Meanwhile, improving your English. That is why newspapers are recommended, so that with English you take care of these other important aspects as well. But if your only focus is to improve your English communication, newspaper is not the only thing which I recommend. Anything which has basic good English, which you can understand and from which you can learn, it is good enough.
Okay, sir, but sometimes I lost my focus on the news because, sir, sometimes not made a consistency in read newspaper.
It's okay. See, everyday reading newspaper may be a boring affair. We understand. So make use of technology. Now use these news apps in shorts or Google News or any other things. or there are news summaries being put on these UPSC coaching websites or some Telegram channels. Follow them. There are multiple options. If you are unable to read the entire newspaper, if you feel it boring, it's okay. Read only the editorial section of the main newspaper and read a summary of all the other news.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Jain, sir.
Next, Karthik Kumar.
Hi, sir. So
Hi.
actually, my question is more related to the selection process, like screening process. Actually, what
Not now.
happened last
Not
time?
now. Sorry. If it is about communication skills, please. Otherwise, not now.
So exactly, it is just the question like that. Does our loudness of voice affect our chances of being selected or rejected?
No, it must be audible. It should not be like you are too feeble and people are not able to understand. And it should not be like you are screaming and on the top of your voice. It should be a fine balance between the both. You
So
must be
though
able
I
to speak confidently, and other people should
Yes,
be
sir.
able to hear your voice properly. That's all.
So though I speak fluent English and with very simple words, it happens sometimes that most of the candidates who are previously recommended sitting beside me are getting screened in. So these are the things that sometimes I think that loudness of voice may be one of the factor of getting
No,
screened in.
loudness is not a factor. The way you are communicating, if you are
Yes,
very
sir.
low in your tone, it may be seen
Mhm.
that you are not confident enough. So that confidence is
All
the
right.
factor which is getting you rejected, not the loudness in voice.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Mute yourself here, all of you, please.
So, any tips for getting a louder voice? Actually, I was in NCC at that time. I used to practice my drills and all. So,
Mhm.
right now I'm doing my MTech, pursuing my MTech. So, there are hardly any chance to practice like that.
What do you want to practice in loudspeaking here? Just raise your voice while you are speaking. Why does it require any practice at all?
So, I think there is a confidence issue. So I think.
So that is what I told all this while. Keep
Mhm.
practicing. When you are confident enough, your voice will automatically raise.
All right, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Then Raghav. Okay. Next, Abhinav Tiwari again. Abhinav, what's happening? Are you there?
No, sir, no question. Sorry.
Okay. 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 Chayan. Okay. I think these guys forgot to lower their hands after their doubts were cleared.
Sir, I have a
Bhushan.
doubt.
Yes. 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 Bhushan.
So, having a sense of humor in a conversation will it raise a flag about my seriousness in the topic, or it will
No,
not
but it
impact?
depends on where you use your sense of humor. In a serious situation, it may not be preferred. And in the SSB, mostly you won't be getting a chance to be jovial. You are being tested and you are expected to be serious all the while. Unless the interviewing officer is expecting some funny answer from you, it is evident. When he is talking about your girlfriend or he is talking about some naughty stuff you have done, that's a light situation where, yes, your sense of humor may kick in. But in serious situations, which most part of the SSB is, obviously joking or taking things light. So, Raghav, I'll kick you out if you don't keep yourself on mute now. It's better to remove this guy. Wait. Okay, done. Yeah, I hope you got your answer, Bhushan.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next, Varun Chauhan.
Jain bhaiya.
Jai Hind.
Bhaiya, whenever I speak in front of a mirror, I don't stammer. And whenever I explain something to my junior or whenever I speak to my junior, I also don't stammer. But sir, when it comes to interviewing corporate or in SSB, I stammer. So sir, if
Understood.
you can
That's
help me
not the
with that.
problem with your English speaking. That is a problem with your confidence. So practice it. Keep giving mock interviews or talk to people better than you. When you put yourself through the situations where you are interacting with superior people or people who are in a position of judging you, that is where your comfort will go, and this uncomfortable situations will be, you will be facing them. That's how you improve. You haven't faced those situations till now in life. Maybe you haven't done these debates and lectures. You haven't been a public speaker in general, which is why
Yes, yes.
obviously when you are commanding your juniors or when you are speaking to people who are not as good as you, your confidence is automatically high. The real challenge is to speak in front of people who are judging you, people who are better than you, where you are feeling conscious about yourself, where you are feeling maybe I'm not up to the mark. So put yourself through
Okay.
those situations, as I told all this while. It comes with practice.
Okay, sir. So how to take this type of situations under control? I mean, sir, like whenever I speak in front of any interviewer, sir, I start stammering. Whether when I speak in front of my friends, I don't stammer at all.
So that's what now you are feeling
Like here,
afraid, you
sir.
are nervous in those situations. One thing is to change your attitude about the selection system. It's not like someone is judging you, or this is not a process where you are being seen by everyone as a person to be rejected. They are just looking at you as a person and making taking a call whether this person can be recommended or not. So treat it that way. Treat it as a very simple process where you are being put through a time-tested selection system where your qualities are being assessed, and they are telling whether this person is fit or not. So take it in a light manner. It is easier said than done, I know. Everyone is thinking of
Yes, sir.
getting admitted, and everyone is nervous when that situation comes where you are in front of the interviewing officer and all. But try to keep it as low key as possible. Try to think of it as a regular interview, which need not make or break your life. And that also comes with having a strong backup. If you're not keeping SSB as the only goal in life, and that is not something which will decide your future or career, then automatically the pressure will reduce. Have a very strong backup. Take the SSB as something which you are going to prove a point and to get into the service as your passion. It should not be like this is my only lifeline, and this hardcore motivation which we get from outside कि यार मुझे फौज में ही जाना है कहीं और मैं
Mhm.
जी नहीं सकता हूँ. That level of over motivation or this kind of hysteric levels which we
Over
reach कि
obsession.
नहीं नहीं मुझे वही करना है, that is wrong. Oh, have SSB as a very simple thing. It's okay if you don't get recommended. There are many other things which you can do. Assessors also try to tell you the same things during the screening results or during the conference results. It's okay. This is not the end of your life. There are many other better things you can do. So keep the SSB that way. Do not think about it as something which which is going to decide you the rest of your life. Not that will actually improve your performance also. If you take it as light as possible, you are putting yourself through ease. There's no pressure on you, and your performance will improve. That way, the chances of recommendation are higher than going with all the pressure and thinking of getting recommended anyhow and trying to perform in every task and just thinking of it every time. So overcome that,
O-
and if you are very well prepared, if you have given some mock interviews, if you are very well aware of yourself, one is not thinking about selection too much and just going there with a cool, casual attitude. And the second one is being as prepared as possible. If you do both these things right, then automatically you will not feel nervous during the group tasks or during the interview.
Okay, sir. And how to be ca ca calm in interview, sir.
So that is what I told you right now.
Like sir,
First thing
stressful
is don't think about the
situation
selection
comes.
system as this big thing which is going to decide your life. Second thing is be as prepared as possible.
Okay, sir. So daily speaking and all those things will really help me to overcome this situation.
Speaking and all will improve your English, not your confidence.
Okay.
Confidence will improve when you actually speak to people better than you, like take a mock
Okay.
interview or talk to people who judge you, who point out your mistakes, like seniors, or if you are working, your manager or any superior
Okay.
officer, or if you are in college, maybe your teachers, seniors. Talk to people who are better than you, who point out your mistakes and who teach you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Saurav Shekhawat.
Jain sir.
Jain. And guys, one more thing here. We are running out of time, so I'm not taking any other doubts after this and Nitin Randhawa.
Sir,
So
my
sorry for that.
question
Any
is
other doubts? One second. Any other doubts which anyone else has? Please personal message me. I'll reply to you on WhatsApp. I think there's one more hand raised. Okay, I'll consider Saurav and Vish and Nitin Randhawa. These are the last three doubts I'm taking. Yes, Saurav, continue.
so my question is like if we are communicating with someone and he has a different approach or different opinions about the same thing, so how can we come on a common outcome or mutually beneficial outcome?
Give me an example.
Like anything we can take, going to our destination by bus or like walking, or how can we do that?
If there is someone who is completely against your point of view, you communicate your idea or what you are thinking in a good manner, uh, respecting the other person as well as communicating your point with confidence, and listen to him also. Communication is a two-way thing. You must be putting your points and equally receiving the other person's points also. So think about it logically, which idea is better or which is a better approach, and try to come to common ground. Like let's say you have some points which are better and he has some which are better. Try to take the best of both and come to a common consensus. This is something which is basic life skill. This is not communication also.
Yes,
Like,
should we
two
sound
people
like
are
more
completely
dominating to
different.
him or be normal in the conversation?
Speak again. You are not audible.
I was asking like should we sound more dominant to him or be normal in the conversation, also listen to
No,
his point?
you should be in between. You should not be too submissive also. You should not be too dominant also.
Yes.
I told this in the beginning. You must be able to communicate your points effectively with confidence, also respecting him.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Wish. No, no, sorry. Nitin Randhawa.
Jain sir.
Jain.
Sir, I want to ask if a person have not good in communication skill and he should be more focused on English or SSB.
Okay, if you are not good in only communication skill, if you are good in everything else which is being checked in SSB, then obviously focus on your communication skill. Otherwise, it's not like you are weak only in communication. There are aspects which you can improve otherwise also. So focus overall on all aspects which are being seen in SSB. Communication skill is one of them. So yes, your focus should be on both. And whichever is your weak area, your focus should be more on that. If your communication is weak and if you think all other aspects are good in you, then your primary focus should be on communication skills only.
Yes, sir. I have a lack of time in my unit, so my SSB is coming in next month. So service entry. Uh, sir, there is less time in my unit. So what the things I focus on more?
Watch some English content. That's the best thing you can do for a service candidate.
Yes.
If you have good internet connection in your cant, go through English news channels or some. I'll put this on my groups and I'll share it with you guys also. Follow these channels and try to watch this content for at least half an hour a day. You will improve your English. And speaking mostly for service candidates, it's a little difficult because you don't have a crowd which has English speaking. It's okay. Use these forums. Try to come online for our group sessions and speak in English and listen to others speaking. It comes with practice, and your English is good only. For a service candidate, the bar is a little lower because even the assessors know that you have been in that environment where you are speaking mostly in Hindi only. So it is accepted in your case. Even if your English is not very good, you are given that leeway.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. And someone has asked, how can I join your WhatsApp groups or any other things? It's simple here. Just personal message me on my Insta handle. There's a link to direct message me on WhatsApp also in my bio. So just contact me there. Or even if you message me on Instagram, I reply and add you in the WhatsApp groups from there. Wish, last doubt.
Uh,
Jai
Sharing,
Hind.
sir. So my question is how to suppress the accent of your mother tongue.
Not necessary. This is something which other people also asked me before I started this session. Uh, your mother tongue accent need not go completely away. There is a certain Mallu accent to Malayali guys. There is some Punjabi accent to people having Punjabi as their mother tongue. That's acceptable. Even senior officers have that small accent that comes in their English. It's acceptable. Our mother tongue is our inner nature that will never go away. So it's okay. Try to reduce that effect as much as possible. It should not be like you are speaking in a mixed language, your native and English. Reduce the effect as much as possible by practicing only again. But you don't need to completely get rid of the accent. Not required. It's okay. It's acceptable.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how can we schedule a personal interview from you?
Message me. I have created a link where you can. I have created this online link where my schedule is shown, and whichever slots are available, you can book, and I'll be available. I take these personal interviews and psych assessment sessions mostly from 9 p.m. to 12 at midnight. That is when I'm a little free after office hours. So you can schedule it, and I think it's already booked for the next 1 month or 1.5 month. So you will be getting a slot mostly in August end or September only.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. I'm ending this call, guys. Thank you very much for attending. And whatever other doubts you have, please feel free to message me and I'll reply to you personally. Jai Hind, everyone. Bye bye.
Jai Hind, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Jain, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Sir.
you,
Thank you, sir.